truth. In struggle, we find our strength. And in the darkness, we learn to see.
Morning diggers, how are you all? Hope you had a good Christmas. It's nearly bloody February now when this clip comes out. Yeah, last couple of clips were pretty good. Found some Roman, found some hammered. Oh, before we start, thanks for the subscribers and the likes and the comments. As I always say, they're brilliant. And keep the comments coming. Even if you don't subscribe, even if you don't like it, let's have a bit of conversation. It's really good about these finds and some of the stuff that is getting ID'd. You know, somebody said to me the other day, oh, this was such and such, and this was so and so, and I thought, I can't even remember that blimmin' dig. But again, it's just brilliant that there's people out there that can go, yes, that's what it is. And it's, for me, that's fantastic. And I might find another one, I might make a big fuss about it, it might be medieval. Found that dog the other day, or that lion type thing. That was yesterday. Yeah, found it yesterday. And I reckon that's medieval. And yeah. Medieval. But this is the second day and we're out on fields that we haven't done and they're in the middle of nowhere. Just have a look at this here. It's just massive. We've had to walk about half a mile from the van to even get to this place, and there's no saying that anybody's ever been here. Obviously someone's come across here. There's a path here, there's a church over there, there's, I don't know how many miles it is to Bristol. There's all sorts of different things going on around here. There might be something, there might not. I found Roman over the back, so is there going to be anything here? Don't know. Anyway, that said, again, thanks all for watching and we'll see you on the first hole. Probably shouldn't, but I'm going to risk a live dig here. There's a good signal I've just seen here. Well, it was good until I switched the blimmin' camera on. It's gone all over the place now. See if we can get out with this. Sounds like a bit of tin now. Now it's gone up again. Let's have a look. It's the first hole. Just try and prise this out of here. What we got here? Looks like a penny. Yeah, I think it's a penny. Bit windy today as well. I'll find out which one this is. I'll clean it up and I'll get back to you. Hang on a sec. Well, just about to see by the back of his head. Look, that's George VI. Over the other side is still too muddy, so I shan't mess with that for the minute. But yeah, George VI. I don't know what this thing is. Yeah, I just seen the gold there. See the gold? And I think that is a little statue. Looks like a cat or a dog. Let's clean that up a minute and I'll come back to you. That's nice, that. Imagine that being gold. Weighs about an ounce. What do you reckon it is, a cat or a dog? Come on. Let's be having you. Well, just before I clean that up, I want to talk about these gloves. They're thermal, waterproof, and the reason why I chose these is I can mess about with the camera, with the fingers here. They're good for iPhones and stuff like that. And up on the top of here, you normally get gloves that's got sort of the cotton or whatever it is, the material here, and it gets soaked and it gets all at your wrist and it does your bloody head in. But this is one of the only ones that I've come across that they're just hands in there and they stay in there and all this stays dry and it's thermal. And I'll tell you what, at the minute, they're bloody brilliant. They're better than those blue ones you can get. There's very similar blue ones, but unfortunately you can get these on Amazon. They're about 12 quid. And I rate them. At the minute I do rate them. They're good gloves. By the way, if I'm going to plug any of these gloves and the kit that I wear and all that lot, I don't get anything off of Amazon for any of the stuff that I'm talking about. I'm just trying, if you're out detecting, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for you. And if anybody else is, you know, out there detecting and you can find stuff that makes it comfortable for you, then share it, because we all want to know. You know, we're all doing the same thing. Out there in the bloody freezing cold, getting soaked, and things like this, they just make the days just that little bit better. But anyway, there you go. There's this little dog. And he was obviously gilded. What he's got on the bottom is a hole there, so I don't know if that went on. Was it just on a mount, or was it part of 3 or 4 of them, or some sort of? I don't know. I don't even know what dog that is, but yeah, interesting. Anyway, I'm trying to keep out the wind as well. You might get a bit of wind noise, but we just had that massive storm and they said the wind was going to be rough. So just doing our best at the minute. But there you go, little doggy. I think his tail's still there. I thought it was gone, but it's obviously tucked behind him. But yeah, lovely little thing. Pleased with that. And on to the next. Oh, he's got a smile as well. Hello, doggy. Well, I had one of these out last week. And it's this time, it was a button last time, if you remember. Like a long shank button. But this time, I think that's a pin. It's definitely a pin this time. Or something that resembles a pin. There, you can see. Yeah. What do you reckon? Pin? Definitely. Don't know what it would have come off of, but interesting nevertheless. Anyway, let's move on. Well, I just had a toast yet. There's nothing much, but I think it's a George II, is it? Pointing to the left? Probably. I think it is. Absolutely trashed on the back. Nothing at all. But it's like I said before, if you could see any of these coins, or ID any of them, I always like to show them. So there's some age on that, mine, 1700 and something, so, you know, what else is about? That's what I always think. Mood tubes now, my luck. Right, it's going to be windy as hell. I'm trying to cover the mic up here. But I've been going along this path here. There's a detector, there's a hole, and it's been going up through there. And I'm sure there should have been something about, because I was following that path. And lo and behold, look at this. I think, not too sure, it's a William. And normally, these things are rubbed away. There you go, look at that. Look at that. And on the bottom, I can't work out if that's is that a B? Because if that is a B, that's been minted in Bristol. And we're not too far away from Bristol, but you can see the Gwilliam-miss on the side there. And at the bottom, we think that could be a B. But I had a hunch along this bank here, and I wanted to get on the top of the bank. I found a silver in there the other day, but it was a Vicky. But I wanted to get on the top of this bank along this little track. But I thought, oh, well, I'll just go back up the hill, and bang, up comes this. That's an absolute corker, that is. They're rare as hen's teeth. Well, you might say, well, I've had one. I expect a few people have had one, but they don't come up very often. Bloody lovely. And if they do come up, they're rubbed and they're made into a love token. Well, that's my first dig on this field that I haven't been on before. And it looks like either a bit of a pot or the end of someone's penknife, but it's got a bend in it there, so I would say more sort of pot. So that could be heading back medieval times. Could be. Don't know. I'll try not to take it too long at the shop. There's something on the end of here where there's just a bit of mud. As I said, it could be someone's penknife or a bit of pot, or someone's mended it here, I don't know. different, and it's encouraging. So you always got to film the musket balls, or one of them, not all of them, but that always sort of points to people being in the fields and stuff, even if they were out shooting, or it could be like Civil War stuff. I don't know. Could be anything, these things, and they're always hard to date, but not sure if this one's been fired. Don't look like it, but who knows? Could be a drop. Well, when you go across fields and you're thinking, oh well, there's not going to be a lot in here. Look at this. This here, I think, is a rowel or a spur, and that is in bloody good condition for a spur, because they're normally all knackered, and I reckon there's a pattern on this one as well. This is an absolutely cracking find. Absolutely beautiful. I'll clean this up a minute and you can have a good look at it, but that is absolutely stunning. Well, we don't think it's a really early one. It's probably, I don't know, nigh on medieval. It's got to be. It's got to be. Got to be. But it's like a double-sided with this sort of loop thing here. Can you see that? That is beautiful. I know I've said it about 10 times, but a real stunner. And I've got to get some pictures of that. Can you imagine somebody having that on the end of his boot and making a horse go a bit faster, or, you know, or whatever they used to do? I think that's what they used to do. Anyway, beauty. I think we've got a bit of buckle shape here. Look, see that in there? So that would have gone like that, and the buckle would have gone over there. But yeah, that's nice too. So it is producing. I mean, we're only just going over it, so we're not going to stick in one area. We're really sort of prospecting, if that makes sense, like the Aussie gold diggers do. Yeah, but their stuff's worth thousands. Ours is worth nothing. But nevertheless, it's a find, and it's a nice find too. And it's got a bit of age to that. You know, you're talking 1700. I think this one's tin, but you never know. But I think it is, because I've gone over a can along here. It's sort of chopped up bit of can. And I think, it's one of those things. You know, those things that always fools you. Look at that. Have you ever found them? They go on the top of those medicine tops for cows. Oh dear. That was a close one. Hit the post. Ding ding. Oh yeah. So if you're watching, have a little bit of a subscribe and a like and a comment. And just tell me how crap that really is. Well, my eyes aren't brilliant, but I think they're good enough to say that there's some sort of thing on the top of this. Can you see that? Could that have been the top of a spoon or something? I know it's cack, but when a detectorist spots anything like that, that's what they call us detectorists, because we're detectoring and detecting stuff. And that's definitely got something to it. I don't know what. Let's see if we get a little bit more of a zoom in. Yeah, see? On the top of there? That's not just me, is it? No, who knows? So maybe top of a spoon? Well, this is a new one on me. Got some sort of zip here. Blimey, if it ain't bad enough finding buttons. Could this be the next thing that is scattered all over the fields? Zips. I thought that was a bag seal at first, but it's not. It's just a zip. God, and you think about it. If you've got a coat and a zipper goes, you've had it. If a button falls off, you can cope. But that must have been catastrophic to the person that dropped that. Well, this is the end of a spoon. I just found this spoon. I don't know how old it is. I don't know, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, don't know. Probably older. But look, it's got a name on here. GW, looks like GW Lot. Isn't that odd to find that on the back of a spoon? Engraved like that. CW, pound sign A, I don't know. Can't make that one out. Odd though, isn't it? Different indeed. A spoon. They get totally smashed as well in these fields. I reckon the plough does that. Yeah, no idea who that bloke is. Nothing on the other side. But a spoon. And somebody, somewhere along the line, has enjoyed putting coffee in or stirring tea in their mugs years ago. Sitting down, reading a paper, if there was such thing as a paper. Ah, lovely. What history. Well, I've been inundated with bloody lead and crap and all this come up. Look at this. You would have thought, I'd just seen it on the edge. I thought, oh yeah, here we go. Here we go, come on baby. No. A button of some sort, so I reckon that's where the shank would have gone, but bloody great thing like that. Dandy button, I expect it was. Ugh. In it to win it and all that sort of stuff. Do you know, some of my digs today, I haven't got a blooming clue on some of the stuff. What's that then, a nail? Doesn't look iron. Well, might be iron, but come on, really good signal. Any ideas? Is that just a bit of junk? Could be. Maybe. Don't know. Well, I just done the outro and said we never found the hammards, but we have, look. There's something going on here. And there you go. Let's focus in on it. That. We've had them like this before. We'll clean this up a minute. Don't know what it is yet, but yep, cut off, definitely. It's not one of those blimmin' animal things, those tops, those aluminium tops or whatever it is now. It's a proper hammered. Well, here we go. It's either Henry, Richard or John. He's pretty toasted, to be honest, but it's a voided short cross. Nice one though. See if I can get it better. Yeah, can you see that? Maybe you or one of you might know. Who knows? Oh dear, I'm gonna sneeze. So anyway, hammered. Bloody hell. Oh dear. Here we go, so we let this Jetton dry out. I think it's a Rosen orb, if that makes sense to anybody. You see that? It's definitely a Jetton. He's seen better days, but hey, a Jetton's a Jetton. Don't class them as hammered, but they're nice coins. And if you find them in good nick, they're lovely. Some of the better patterns are on the Jettons, definitely. Cool, and just as we're going, we thought we were going to blank on this clip, but it doesn't look like it when it comes to hammards. Got another one here. That's a nice one as well. I'm not going to mess up, I was going to say the F word then. I'm not going to mess about with it too much. I'm going to clean it up first, and then I'll tell you all about it, or you could tell me all about it. So there we go, look. Okay, so Henry VIII, look at that. That is stunning. And it's a sovereign penny, and it's pierced. So it's technically treasure. And if we look over the other side, it's got a shield there. And that is an absolutely cracking coin. Yeah, so treasure, yes, because it's pierced. But if the treasure man's listening, you've still got my ring, and you've had it for 3 years, and you've also got my celts that you've had for 3 years. So give me them back, and you can have this. Ha ha! Well, here we go. Last dig of the day. 4-holer and a 1943. Threepenny bit. That would be a George VI on there. Yeah, 1943, right in the middle of the war. I wonder what old Donald would have been like in the middle of the war in 1943. Oh, he'd have had something to say about that. I'm sure. The bloke's becoming a bit of a pest, but that's another story. Anyway, that's the end of the dig. And again, thanks for watching. Been a cracking dig, really. Right, just before we end this clip, I've been thinking of doing some woodland detecting, and I've just been out over there and found that Henry VIII sovereign penny, and I've just looked over here and there's quite a bit going on here, and I think it's the right time of the year. There won't be a lot of roots and stuff, but I reckon it's the right time of the year to start messing about in here. So on the next clip, I'm going to spend half a day in here, around here, and I'm going to go back over where we had that sovereign penny over there. So that'll be worth watching, that one. So keep an eye out for that one. There might be some more stuff. It might be just crap. I'm expecting, to be honest, a lot of shotgun cartridges and bits and pieces like that in here, but you never know. I was just saying to my mate, perhaps years ago, I mean, I'd imagine this was here years and years and years ago, and always been sort of woodland of some sort. I mean, these trees here, they're only a couple of 100 years old. This one's probably sort of 300 years old. But there would have been trees before that, and probably people would have taken them down to burn, to keep warm and all that sort of stuff, and they may have come through here. So yeah, on that note, I'm going to give it a go. So keep your eye out for this one. I don't see much wood detecting on YouTube, so this should be pretty good. Well, that wasn't a bad dig, diggers. We had some cool bits. That little liony cat thing, still think that's medieval. We had that shilling, William III. That's pretty cool. We had something just now. There was this called a prick spur. I'll put a thing up here, but you'll see it in one of the finds on the clip. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty quiet, and I'm not too sure. I mean, this ground is good. I'm in a bloody muddy as hell. It's got Frankenstein's boots again, but I'm not sure if it's the best digging conditions, especially for conducting on the machines. It's a bit sort of hit and miss. If you look at some of our other clips, we've had like hammers and all sorts of different coins and stuff, but we've been a bit sort of down on the coins. Yesterday I had about 4 or 5, including that silver. I had a couple of toasted today, and I've had something like about, must be getting on for 20 buttons. I haven't filmed any of the buttons, I think maybe just a couple. But other than that, we haven't done too bad, and we'll keep at it. Hopefully the weather will pick up. It's getting lighter nights now. It was light last night till 5 o'clock, which is a bloody miracle. Yeah, or it felt like a miracle. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for your comments and all that sort of stuff, and liking, and thanks to Tom, who sponsors us. And if you want any kit for the new year, go to his shop here. You'll get a discount of 10%, or ring him up, he might even give you 20. Anyway, see you on the next dig.
Goes like this. We'll get your car.